Dating is hard as a single woman. It is awful. It's honestly worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
What?
It was easier being single at 19 than it is as a 25-year-old.
That's fucking crazy.
Wait, why though?
I feel like guys used to have so much confidence and they'd approach you. Like, I don't know, when you're younger, it's just so much easier. I
They
feel
haven't
like.
been rejected as much.
Yeah. And now I'll go out and I'm like, woo, I'm going to get some attention tonight. And no one speaks to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I the most hideous human in the world? Like,
No. Me and Cass always speak about this though. Like,
The bar is in hell.
we've spoken
Yeah.
about this a lot of times, and it seems like it's an issue that's getting more and more traction. Like, it's not actually getting solved.
It's funny how that works. Women mock men for not having confidence, but they're often the reason guys hesitate in the first place. The judgmental looks, the dismissive tone, the cold attitude, it all adds up. You can't demand boldness while creating an environment where most men feel instantly unwelcome or ridiculed.
Do men ever approach you and say, hey, how's it going?
I actually went on a date with someone who approached me one time. He was just riding on a bike, actually, like up here, and I was just walking. And then he was like looking back, and I was like, oh my God, he's gonna come up to me. I was like, he's kind of cute. He's gonna go up to me. And then he came up to me. If you approach someone in the right way, it can be quite charming.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes I'm like in the mood for just like a 2-minute chat or like even a 1-minute chat.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just straight up say, like, I'm not in the mental state to be having this conversation right now, and I'm gonna go that way.
One awkward comment, one nervous moment, and suddenly you're painted as the bad guy in her story and the group chat. It's wild how fast harmless intentions get twisted into something negative. So men learn to play it safe, keep quiet, and stay distant. It's not fear, it's exhaustion from navigating a social world waiting to misjudge every move.
Men are not approaching women because they're afraid of the woman calling him a freak or weird or creep or threatening, when he is probably, in most cases, just trying to have a simple interaction and get her number or start a conversation. But I've seen so many TikToks where a woman will go viral for telling a story about how a man came up to her and said something very normal, but she calls him a freak and calls him weird or threatening or whatnot, probably because she just didn't find him attractive. But at the same time that's happening, women really want men to make the first move because they want an assertive man who's brave enough to come talk to a stranger. So I totally understand both perspectives, but they clash. So what do we do about this scenario? No one's talking to anyone, no one's getting any numbers. What do we do?
Honestly, it's about time things flipped. For years, women made the rules, kept their guard up, and now wonder why they're alone. The game changed. Accountability's due. If you want connection, drop the pride, take initiative, and make the first move. Equality means effort from both sides now.
Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? See, shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women. The masculinity on earth has diminished drastically that guys don't even come up to you anymore. They'll just stare at you from a distance. As a woman who's trying to embody her feminine energy, you're not going to catch me going up to the guy. You're just not. We can just stare at each other. See, shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women, because guys don't do that anymore. If God were to guarantee that your 20th person would be the love of your life, you would be so happy to be rejected by all 19. So why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? We don't chase. We signal like, you can come up to me now. But all men do is just look at you now. And of course, like, if the woman is interested, she's going to keep looking your way too. But it just like stays like that. Nothing ever happens because men don't walk up to women anymore. Or they're just tired of being rejected. But it's like, if God were to tell you that you're going to go through 20 rejections before you get to your yes, and that's going to be the love of your life, you guys would be so happy to go through all 20 because you would just be so closer to the love of your life. Come on, guys. You guys got to do better.
First, it was all about independence. I don't need a man. Now it's suddenly divine feminine energy and wanting to be cherished again. The constant flip-flopping is confusing and honestly tiring. You can't keep rewriting the rules every few years and expect men to keep playing along. People crave consistency, not contradiction dressed up as empowerment.
I saw this tweet, men aren't obsessed with women anymore, and it's weird. And my first thought was, what the fuck are we supposed to obsess over? We're supposed to obsess over these irrational feminist values and principles? Are we supposed to obsess over these all-time high levels of neuroticism, disagreeableness, selfishness, entitlement, egotistical thinking, narcissism, promiscuity? We're supposed to obsess over these all-time low levels of inhibition and integrity? We're supposed to be obsessing over this overt lascivious behavior constantly exhibited on social media, photos, videos that were once confined to your boyfriend's phones, now on display for the world to see, constantly exposing us and desensitizing us to the female body? We're supposed to be obsessing over these detrimental mentalities and pernicious attitudes and behaviors that aren't conducive to a healthy relationship? Why in the hell would we do that? We're not obsessing because the traits that we normally obsess over, femininity, class, pleasant disposition, interdependent, emotionally stable, and mentally healthy, those traits have depleted significantly. Women aren't women anymore, and that's weird.
Divine masculine energy is back.
There's a stat on Facebook, and basically it says, men are not obsessed with women like they used to be. Y'all don't find that kind of weird? And to be honest, no, I don't find that kind of weird, because what exactly is there for men to be obsessed with in today's world? Women have left no room for imagination, none whatsoever. It's like your sense of entitlement is out of control. Your expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing your bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living a lifestyle to post on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like, y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will fuck that. But men are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is, oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all aren't here to give them free pussy, free looks, and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact.
Exactly. They'll wake up eventually, but only after the damage is done. By the time the lesson sinks in, the chances they took for granted will be long gone.
So am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men? No, because I had to actually sit and think about this, and I had to ask myself, when is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time.
Let's be honest. What's sold as empowerment often looks more like confusion. One minute it's, leave me alone. The next it's, why won't he approach? You can't demand independence and then crave pursuit without clarity. The mixed messages exhaust everyone involved, and men are finally checking out of the guessing game. Real confidence doesn't come from contradiction. It comes from consistency and genuine self-awareness.
They actually went into the reasoning behind these men not going and speaking to women. And I believe the list was scared of rejection, scared of like an HR response or being reported or Me Too'd in some way, shape, or form, not being successful, and just not feeling the need to walk up to women anymore was also one of the many answers that men gave on the list of reasons why they no longer approach women. So it's interesting out there.
People say, just shoot your shot, but forget how risky it's become. One misunderstood moment can ruin a man's reputation or worse. It's not simple rejection anymore. Stories get twisted, intentions get questioned, and the fallout can be life-changing. Flirting shouldn't feel like stepping into a legal trap. It's scary how quickly things can turn. One misunderstanding and your whole life can unravel. Some people don't realize the power their words carry until it's too late.
Girls, when was the last time a man approached you at a bar and started talking to you? And I thought this was just me thing, but they were all like, no, it hasn't happened in, I can't even tell you how long, like before COVID. And I thought that was a me experience. I was like, okay, maybe I give off like a standoffish vibe. I don't know. I don't think so. But no, they all agreed. They're like, I can't tell you the last time a man tried to talk to me at a bar. A man tried to offer to buy me a drink. Do men still do that? Men, can you weigh in? And I don't even need the drink, but like the last time, and I'll go up and talk to guys, but like Can someone explain?
Ladies keep asking this, but when are you going to realize that there are consequences to your words and actions? It's because men would rather keep to themselves than to be called a creep, or at the very least be publicly embarrassed, or at worst be accused of something. A lot of women do not realize that because of social media, a lot of young men believe that women despise them. Between the 4B movement, the it's all men until no men, and picking the bear over the man, because of this, most of them assume that women genuinely want nothing to do with them.
He respectfully offered a drink, took her no with grace, and walked away. Yet somehow, that became a spectacle. What was once simple politeness turned into social ammo. Moments like this show why men stop approaching altogether, when even good intentions can be twisted into accusations for attention.
What are men doing wrong?
Oh, a lot. Whether it's the chicken or the egg, the men are not asking women out. Now, the bottom line is we're having a problem post-pandemic where men are not asking women out. I don't know if it's a white man disease right now.
I think it's soy milk.
They're afraid they're going to get
I'll tell you what it
canceled.
is. My experience pre-Lauren, when I was running around my single days, like we didn't have the apps, and if you saw a woman, you had to go up.
Right. At the bar, the restaurant, the gas station, they used to come up to you at Whole Foods and say, hey, can you help me with this? Is this a good salad dressing?
Yeah, and you had to show you were interested, and you had to say something.
Take their number.
It is harder, I think, and also because
But you
of that.
saw what you're getting in person, so you knew that it wasn't a lie
That's
on
true.
the apps.
And because of that, also, I think when you found somebody, you were much more
Interested.
Yeah, and you stayed longer.
The
because,
level of interest is higher.
Yeah, and I didn't have 18 other options, right? There was,
If this doesn't work out, fuck her. I'm going to go to the next one.
Now it's like, hey, I have 15 things. They didn't check one of the things. Let me swipe 18 other times. I'm done with this one.
Men adjusted to the new rules while women avoided accountability. Rather than growing together, many shouted, "Leave us alone," until men actually did. Now, the silence feels heavy, full of regrets, loneliness, and unread messages. Actions have consequences, and this time, men chose peace over pointless drama.
All right, y'all, 4 reasons why this type of guy doesn't approach women anymore. Let's get into it. They don't play games. This type of guy is very direct, not into playing mind games, or deal with women who are playing hard to get, not into wasting their time. But 2, social media, dating game has become more shallow and superficial. This type of guy likes depth. Number 3, this type of guy doesn't like surface level conversation. He likes to have an intellectual exchange. Not too much of that going on today. Number 4, the way women date and approach relationships today completely turns this guy off. This guy is looking for a unicorn and he is not willing to settle until he finds her.
Men aren't chasing perfection. They just want kindness, drive, respect, and calm. Simple things that shouldn't be rare now feel impossible to find. In a world obsessed with appearances and ego, genuine connection gets lost. All they're asking for is peace, not perfection, but even that feels distant.
There are more single men without kids than there are single women without kids. Yet the narrative online would make it seem like it's men out here that got kids and it's hard to find a man who don't have baby mamas. No, it's actually more in reverse. I always say the loneliest person is a single man.
In what universe?
In general, there are much more lonely men. And the loneliest person is a single man, not a single woman. Because again, if that single woman tomorrow decides, I want a man's attention, she can do a few things to make it happen ASAP. I don't care who she is. That man does not have those same avenues.
You saying they're not getting no Action Jackson?
None.
Wow.
The average woman's inbox overflows with attention, while the average man gets silence. Most regular guys aren't admired or pursued. They're overlooked and forgotten. In today's world, men crave simple appreciation, not adoration. The truth is, genuine affection for ordinary men has become rare, and loneliness keeps growing.
There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Alone is just a fact, and that we can embrace and make decisions about. Loneliness has got an emotional charge to it, and that's very much a matter of perception. You can be alone and not be lonely, and you can be surrounded by all kinds of people and be completely lonely.
So true. Being alone just means no one's around, but loneliness is what happens inside. Some surround themselves with people just to avoid silence, yet still feel empty. Others embrace solitude and find real peace. True contentment isn't about company. It's about being comfortable in your own presence and genuinely liking yourself.
A lot of what's going on with men right now, it's loneliness, it's isolation, it's touch starvation, it's suicidality.
Sexlessness as well.
Sexlessness. And it's no individual person's responsibility. But the real problem with this is that these are not problems that men can solve on their own. This is exactly why this is the problem that men are experiencing. Because as men, we are taught to be independent. We are taught to be, you should fix everything on your own. And so men have fixed all of the things that we can fix on our own. The only thing that's left is the things that we must rely on other people for, right? So no one's complaining about, I mean, a lot of men are obese, but there's not like an obesity, there is a crisis, but that's not what's bothering people. That's not where we're losing the war. We're not losing the war on baldness, right? So there are lots of things as a man that you can fix in your own life. It's just the real challenge is that no one is willing to take responsibility for any level of connection with men. And so that's not something that is going to get fixed because you need another human being to hug you. Like you can't hug yourself. It just doesn't work.
Touch starvation is brutal. It's not just physical, it's emotional starvation. Men today are isolated, craving connection in a world that tells them to tough it out. Society says fix your body, earn more, stay silent. But loneliness can't be lifted or hustled away. It erodes you slowly. Men need affection and closeness too, yet no one talks about it. That silence is the real epidemic.
You cannot convince the modern man that he has privilege because of how deeply miserable he is. The very idea feels ridiculous to him, because his ability to emotionally connect to his surroundings is broken by patriarchal hazing, which leaves him to numb his loneliness with indulgence and vice. This indulgence turns quickly into addiction. Addiction to substances, video games, digital media, physical intimacy, work, money, and power. He begins to engage with these addictions instead of experiencing social connection and reward, which divorces him from his neurological capability to do so. This is the male loneliness epidemic. It is entirely centered around addiction.
Addiction fuels today's male loneliness crisis. Constant digital escape ruins real connection. In our parents' time, dating had purpose. Now it's vague and detached. Everyone's glued to screens, mistaking scrolling for closeness. We crave intimacy, yet run from vulnerability. It's tragic. Connection exists everywhere, yet genuine love feels harder to reach than ever.
Dude, men are f***ing lonely, bro. People don't seem to understand that. 77% of suicides, men. Every 5 minutes, a man commits suicide. Dude, like, who's gonna f***ing step up and be like, yo, I got you guys. Like, hey, you know, there's a couple guys, but obviously they're getting censored. Community is extremely important. And people bash and shit on communities, but communities that are oriented towards the development of self and authenticity will stand the test of time.
Social media was meant to bring people together, but it's done the opposite. Everyone's connected online, yet emotionally distant in real life. Conversations feel shallow, attention spans shorter, and authenticity rare. The more we scroll, the less we truly connect. Loneliness, disguised as constant digital interaction.
So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right now, and I don't want to diminish that. That sounds really tough, but what I don't understand is why some men tell me this as if, like, I'm supposed to do something about it. Like, don't look at me. The most I can personally do is recommend you guys listen to Mitski, like the rest of us. Other than that, I feel like this is between you dudes, you know? And not to point fingers, but maybe if you spent less time telling women there's a male loneliness epidemic in an accusatory tone, and more time asking your boys how their heart is doing, this could all be over.
The problem, though, is that it's only to men that we would say, fix it yourself. It's only to men that we would say, it's your fault. It's only to men that we would say, sounds like men need to do better.
When she starts with, I don't want to diminish that, you already know what's coming. A full attempt to do exactly that. It's ironic how empathy disappears when the struggle isn't theirs. When women hurt, men must do better. When men hurt, it's dismissed. The double standard is exhausting and deeply unfair.
Usually loneliness, you know where it all starts? Not with your relationship with others, the relationship with you. When's the last time you were there for you?
I remember driving in the car and having one of those times when stuff started coming up. And I was like, yeah, but I'm older now.
Imagine I'm the aspect of you that feels really lonely and hurt and alone.
Yeah.
And I come up to you. What's your name?
Zach.
Zach. I'm like, Zach, I feel so lonely. would your response be like, "You're older now. Be more responsible"? Is that what you tell me? Imagine that's your own kid. What would you tell that kid? "Dad, I'm hurt and I'm alone. I feel very lonely." Would you hug him?
Yeah.
So why are you not hugging yourself right now? That kid's right there screaming inside. Come on.
One of the most comforting truths is realizing the person you are now is who your younger self needed. It's more than a cliche, it's healing. Growth doesn't erase the pain, it redeems it. Gentlemen, remember this. You deserve kindness, understanding, and love, especially from yourself. That's real strength, not weakness.
With women, we rely so heavily on relationships outside of just our primary partner. But with men, it's like really they've been taught that women are the only safe outlet that they have, and therefore it becomes their primary partner and they're the only person that they're relying on. And then when they don't have a primary partner, it's like they feel like they have nobody. Yeah. And that's kind of a huge factor of what I believe is leading to this epidemic, is that men don't feel like they are able to go anywhere.
So the tent pole, if you will, is group therapy. What you learn in terms of like understanding that you're not alone and you're not the only person going through this experience is wild. And I think aloneness is the precipice for why it's an epidemic.
Yes.
Right?
Men are often forced to rely entirely on their partner for emotional support, with no safe space beyond that bond. When it breaks, everything collapses. Women are taught connection. Men are left isolated. The solution isn't pity, it's brotherhood, community, and freedom to be human without judgment or shame.
Most men walk the earth with this lone wolf mentality, right? We view the lone wolf as strong, right? The lone wolf is strong, he can handle everything on his own. I think if most men really understood what happens to the lone wolf, because his fate isn't pretty, the lone wolf dies. The pack is strong because of the wolf, and the wolf is strong because of the pack. Most men are living this quiet life of desperation and isolation where we're surrounded physically by other men, but mentally and emotionally and through conversation and learning, we don't have those iron sharpen iron relationships. We have like these more rusty relationships. So the Alliance, it's a community we've had since 2016. And what it is it's a community of men who are honorable, who are hungry, humble, and ungodly imperfect. We want to optimize our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health.
When you're young, it feels like you have endless friends, people to laugh with, talk to, and share everything. But as you grow, you realize most were just passing faces, and only a few truly deserve the word friend. Life's short, and everyone goes eventually, but few truly live freely. Real peace comes from choosing your own path, not following someone else's expectations. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal, link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.